Hello everyone, welcome to Spinning Iris. Well, I've took all my Christmas decorations down, so holidays are officially over, so I'm going to share all my holiday book haul, which started around November. Gotta celebrate the little things in life that make us happy, right? Books make me happy. Got some pre-Christmas, got some at Christmas, and I got some after Christmas. So everything that I got book-wise between November 1st and yesterday. Got some familiar names, some not so familiar names. In fact, two of the names on here are other YouTubers, which I'm really excited about. And I'm going to start with one of them. There's the angle. Sam the Cooking Guy. Recipes with Intentional Leftovers. This one got for Christmas. And it's basically what the title says, recipes with intentional leftovers. Basically, make something like a chicken soup stock. Basically, it's just a boiled chicken, and then there's recipes that go with that throughout the book. And you know, cookbooks are books too. For a fun example, Kahlua pork shepherd's pie using leftover mashed potatoes. Actually, sounds really good. Just took a peek at one of, let's see, Sam Zine? Not sure. Might have to check out more of his YouTube channel to see other fun recipes. From what I've seen so far, he's got a very dry sense of humor. Very good. While we're still on nonfiction, sort of how-tos. Not really how-tos, but anyway. This one was sort of a late Christmas gift. It was in transit. It just didn't, you know, make it under the tree. Robyn, Octopus, and Friends by Claire Gelder. It's obviously a knitting book. Which is a little different from some of the other critter knitting books that I've gotten over the years. This one uses a chunky yarn, the big bulky yarns. Do I have an example? No, I don't. So lots of really interesting, fun patterns to play around with. It's actually a cow in here I'm kind of interested in making. And on the subject of knitted critters, picked this up yesterday. Mini Knitted Cosmos by Sachiyo Ishii. I think that's how it's pronounced. Over 40 woolly aliens, rockets, planets, and other astro knits. Yeah, this one looked like a lot of fun too. Just an example. Lots of fun things to play with. You might see some of those floating around in the future, much like little Unis and Honest here. Now, on to the fiction. Well, I'll start with the obvious one. This one came out in November. Saw this one on my end of the year video. Volume 8 for Urusei Yatsura by Urusei Yatsura by Rumiko Takahashi. This one's a lot of fun. There's sort of this volume introduces a new character named Ryunosuke, who's kind of like a Ranma prototype, and only it's a girl who's been raised as a boy. Let's see, that's the day I picked that up, that was November. Of course, that's when it was finally dropped. I kind of randomly pulled this one off the shelf, The Doll Factory by Elizabeth MacNeal. Let's see. Obsession is an art. Set in Victorian London. Haven't read it yet, of course. Just reading the description on the back. Sounded very interesting. I think took a look at the first page too and said, okay, gotta check this one out. This was from 2019, so it's still relatively new. And I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, was her premiere novel, first novel, debut novel. That's the right word. So yeah, I look forward to getting to that one. After the Perry Mason series on HBO? Anyway, after that came out, I kind of got interested in looking up Erle Stanley Gardner, who was for some reason hard to find at Barnes & Noble, but especially, it's really weird. For some reason, Erle Stanley Gardner's not that big a deal anymore? Question mark? Piles and piles of Agatha Christie's Poirot, and no piles and piles of Erle Stanley Gardner's Perry Mason. I did luckily find one eventually. It was the Dubious Bridegroom, which I also mentioned in my end of the year video. That one was part of the haul. I'm just not going to bring that one back out here. I did find another novel by Erle Stanley Gardner, who was writing apparently under a pen name, A.A. Fair, and it's called The Knife Slipped. Nice racy cover, very pulpy. First publication anywhere. This was through Hard Case Crime. I've gotten a couple of early Michael Crichton novels through the same group who published this one. So yeah, this was kind of a stand-in for not being able to find Perry Mason until suddenly there was Perry Mason. So I'll get to that one. Oh, speaking of Agatha Christie, got this one for Christmas. Midwinter Murder. So this is a Fireside Tales from the Queen of Mystery. So basically winter-themed stories, including the original version of Christmas Adventure, which was apparently never released here in the States. So this will be probably a fun, quick read this month. But yeah, can't go wrong with Agatha Christie. Usually don't. And another one that I picked up at Barnes & Noble is Circe by Madeline Miller. No, I have not read this. The House of Helios, god of the sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. I don't know why I didn't pick this up sooner, because I do enjoy Greek mythology and stories about Greek myths and inspired by Greek myths, and this was from one of the most famous Greek stories ever, the Odyssey, which I read for fun years ago. So this should have been a no-brainer pickup ages ago. When was this published? A couple years ago, so not that long ago. So yeah, from what I understand, this is really good, and then I'll hopefully enjoy it. And the other day, I finished reading Gregory Maguire's Urusei, which I brought up in a previous book list, for my library book list. Did finish reading that, so of course I found his new one at the bookstore, A Wild Winter Swan. This one's looks like it'll be on the short side. Yeah, it's 230 pages. A little on the short side, so this should go by really quickly. It looks like it's going to be another sort of fairy tale inspired one. Right, so Urusei was inspired by the Nutcracker. This one is inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's The Wild Swans. A little more contemporary, set in the 1960s, it looks like, in New York. So it's an updated fairy tale. And because I'm a bit of a sucker for good hardbacks and authors that I do enjoy and I'm curious about reading more, I picked up Dracula and Other Horror Classics by Bram Stoker. Dracula is the only Bram Stoker novel that I have read, and I'm curious to see what else he has to offer. So, yeah, I've got a little over 750 pages of Bram Stoker's work in here. And also picked up my own copy of Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales, which I have read, though the copy I read belongs to my sister, and wanted to give that back to her. So now I have my own copy to use and abuse however I want to. Oh. I don't know if you heard that. That was kind of awesome. I did say I'd be talking about some familiar authors here. One of those should be obvious next, since I already brought up Agatha Christie. I'm of course going to bring up Nora Roberts. The other day I found this Irish Thoroughbred, which is her very first novel. I wasn't sure if I had it. It is quite possible that I have it in a duo book in a paperback, but this is a collector's edition, and it's always fun having hardbacks. So now I can see where it all started. And also, her newest trilogy, The Awakening, the Dragonheart Legacy. So she's jumping back into fantasy. It's looking pretty stellar here. St. Martin's Press seems to be doing right by her. And also from Nora Roberts, these came late. These came late for Christmas. Vendetta in Death and Golden in Death. Two of the newer ones. The next one is coming out very soon. But yeah, these should be fun, quick little reads. Continuing adventures of Eve Dallas. Okay, the next one's this one's basically me trying to complete a collection that I have. Gail Carriger's Waistcoats and Weaponry. It's book 3 of her Finishing School series. So now I can finally complete this series. This was also kind of a bit of a random one. I've picked up Doctor Who novels before. This one's kind of special. I haven't seen much of the 7th Doctor series, so I'm not entirely familiar with the character. But I was intrigued that this book was written by the actor who portrayed this character. This is Doctor Who at Childhood's End by Sophie Aldred, with Steve Cole and Mike Tucker. So this is an ace adventure with the current Doctor, the still current Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. I know that because I read the inside jacket, and she's running up against Ryan, Graham, and Yaz. This was brand new too. This came out last year, just this last year. It's always fun kind of jumping back in with former companions of the Doctors, see kind of what happened to them, how they fared after they either left the Doctor or were left by the Doctor. I know there's some who are, we'll never know because they're dead. But yeah, this one seemed really, really interesting. Apparently, Ace and the Doctor didn't part well, if what I'm looking at here is correct. So yeah, this should be an interesting read. It should be really interesting. This one was kind of like a promotional book. It got like $5 and you buy a cafe item at the cafe at Barnes & Noble. Sure, why not? I'm up for a thriller. This is 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. Haven't read it yet, but I'm sure I'll get to it shortly. Yeah. Nice cold fun. Probably. Probably not. We'll find out. This one is definitely going to be read this year. I'm going to make a point to read this one. And bless Barnes & Noble for putting this right in the doorway. Otherwise I might not have seen it. It's Sing, Unburied Sing, a novel by Jesmyn Ward. Did not know who Jesmyn Ward is. Drew me was, what usually draws me, it's a cool title and an interesting cover. And reading the back, part ghost story, part road novel. I'm already intrigued. Plus looking at all the awards, it's a National Book Award winner. 10 best books, the New York Times book review, so this is a New York Times bestseller. It's got Oprah Magazine's, I guess, thumbs up. see, it's got book club bonus material. So there's a lot of praise here. So I have some high expectations for this book. This is probably going to make me cry, which I don't mind. But yeah, I can't wait to get to this one. This one is the next one on my list to read. This one I'm also excited to read this year. This is Axiom's End by Lindsay Ellis. This is another one I've heard a lot of good praise about. So yeah, I've sort of followed Lindsay Ellis off and on for a few years now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to get into this bit of sci-fi here. From what I gather from what I've heard her say, it's sort of inspired by Transformers. Take inspiration where you can. So yeah, these two, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this year. And of course the last one that I got was Diana Gabaldon's Outlander. I had to go out and get a paperback because there's just one passage that I had to read for myself. I am currently doing my own knit-along to the audiobook. Haven't gotten very far into it yet. Anyway, so yeah, this... Why a paperback? I love a good little paperback. You can take it anywhere. That, and I love telling people, oh, look at my 800-page book. So yeah, that was my holiday haul. I'm sure I'll get a few more along the way. I do have my eye on a couple other books, but probably wait till February when the next volume of Urusei Yatsura comes out. Can't wait for that. And yeah, that's all I have for now. Take care. Bye-bye.